Hey, Greg Watson here with a bit of a roundup of the week that's been in real estate and some of the really interesting things that have been going on. And so let's rip into this. A family has won damages against a landlord for retaliatory eviction. Now, at the moment, they're talking about doing away with the 90-day notice, which landlords can use to move tenants on. Whether they need to do away with that or not, the tribunal has in place a mechanism that is called calls for protection from unlawful retaliatory action. This is where a tenant does something a landlord perceives as being wrong in some way and gives 90 days notice for the tenants to move out. Because with a 90-day notice, you don't need to give exact reasons for why that you're just ending the tenancy. So the Tenancy Tribunal has decided in this particular case that the tenancy was being ended unfairly, and of course there is exemplary damages. So not only can the tenant stay on, but they're awarded $950 plus $200 for a minor charge. That's something to bear in mind if you're a landlord, is to get good advice before doing that. Now, all of these links will be in the details below. But first of all, here's some sort of inflammatory headlines that have been happening around the removal of letting fees, which is hot on the political agenda at the moment. So this headline, no more gouging renters as letting fees to go. It's interesting to think that they use words like gouging, where property management companies generally provide this for services rendered and helping tenants get into properties. Now, I'm not going to discuss in this session whether or not there should be letting fees chargeable to tenants, but they're looking at the bill where it will be illegal for landlords to charge letting fees. And so that's the perception that there's an anomaly that tenants are paying for service that other people feel that landlords should pay for. And an example of this is this article written by Dr. Lucy Barnard around the fact that the belief that letting fees should be banned, and based on the idea that it's somewhat unfair for property managers to charge tenants for service that landlords are receiving. So again, that's some of the background around this change. So that leads on through to what would the effect of some of these things be? Some people will try and suggest to you that in the busy markets, if a letting fee is reduced, that rental auctions could be done by landlords to try and offset some of the cost. This is something where effectively landlords can say, how much do you want to pay to tenants? And in a busy market, they will really get quite a lot of extra rent potential. So that's something which you could have a look at. I don't necessarily agree with this article, but it's good to put it in context. Kerry Barfoot from Barfoot and Thompson was on News Hub and on the AM show, I should say, talking about wanting to regulate property managers. But an important part of that story relating to letting fees was that the letting fee is likely to be passed on as a cost to the landlords. Property management companies' profit margins are such that if they're unable to charge a letting fee to tenants, they'll need to make up that income from somewhere else. Certainly not gouging, but in certain cases it would wipe out the profit entirely of property management companies. So will banning letting fees raise rents? Let's look at it this way. Landlords tend to raise rents when they are faced with extra costs because it is a business. So there are articles around this. This one here is quite a good one. It's saying that if the landlords have to pay, it's natural that rents will go up. And this is a fundamental issue with the letting fees going up. Letting fees getting scrapped, I should say, is that rents will go up. And there's numerous examples in the media from around the country. Here's one from Hawke's Bay real estate agent saying that scrapping the fees will increase the rents. A rental increase of even $10 a week is equivalent to $520 a year. If a tenancy lasts 2 years, the tenants are over $1,000 worse off than paying a letting fee, which would have been a smaller amount. So not only will it put up rents, but tenants will be in a situation where things are likely somewhat worse financially. So again, more articles around that. Even in this article about Wellington's rental prices cooling, they're still commenting about the letting fees. So where does this leave people trying to get houses? Article here from Nelson really is the plight of many, which is that they're just trying to find somewhere to live. There's very few properties on offer. The supply and demand issues are affecting many of the regions now, and that's where, even with a full-time job, it can be very difficult to be able to get into a rental. It is fundamentally a supply and demand problem. Which leads on to the final article, Why the Foreign Buyer Ban is Bad Law, which was from yesterday from Stuff. And a fundamental part here is that they're saying in order to do developments of large-scale property with regards increasing the likes of the supply of properties, they need foreign investment. And there's a risk that changes to the overseas buyers' law may curb some of that impact. Although as recently as late yesterday afternoon, it seems that they may possibly have got around this. But this article is about the fact that if they're not receiving foreign money to help kickstart those developments, if for example, they're not allowed, if they're being forced to on-sell properties within a year, then it would really be an issue for getting foreign capital for developments that can take up to 10 years. So that's all for me for today. I'd encourage you to visit our website and have a look at some of our resources, rental prices, sales prices. And in this free resource tab here, when you click Find Out More, there's plenty of their informational videos, blogs and downloads. So thanks very much for watching. And this were my comments on This Week in Real Estate.